Right again, people. At the time of filming this, it's New Year's Eve 2021. I'm sat on my driveway somewhere in Essex, the finest county in the land, and for this New Year's Eve wild camp, it's going to be something a little bit special. I'm going to be heading across the country really, to Gloucestershire, to the highest point in the Cotswolds. All will become clear later in the video. I've got about a 2.5 hour drive. I'm going to be meeting up with James and Mary from Bad Hair Adventures, a cracking little YouTube channel that you should check out if you haven't done so already. I've done a few camps and walks and whatnot with them before. So they recently moved from like Ipswich in Suffolk up to Stratford upon Avon, Warwickshire. So we sort of said for this New Year's Eve, somewhere sort of like halfway between the two of us would be a good place to meet. It's a little bit further for me, but that's fine. I thought this one sounds like too good an opportunity to pass up. We're going to have some great views as well, apparently, overlooking Cheltenham, the Malvern Hills, and even possibly into Wales. So that's something a bit different, isn't it, for Tom Outdoors? My crazy Auntie Kay and Uncle Kevin, great people, they used to live in Cheltenham, and we used to go for walks around all the time as a kid. And now I think they live in Herefordshire, somewhere like that. Anyway, so some childhood memories where I'm going to. It should be pretty cool. We sort of did a lot of sourcing for the research for this from this book, The Wild Guide Central England. James and Mary have got a copy. These books are brilliant, by the way. There's a wild guide for just about every area of the country, and there's like ideas for walks, things to go and look at, like old stuff, woodlands to explore, even like sort of subtle suggestions of places you could wild camp or bivvy bag camp. So it's pretty cool books. Right, I'm going to get the sat nav on because I will probably get lost heading to Gloucestershire. Wish me luck, people. I will see you in about 2.5, probably 3 hours time. I'm not walking. Enough talking, let's just get driving. Cleeve Hill, also known as Cleeve Cloud, is the highest point both of the Cotswolds hill range and of the county of Gloucestershire at 330 metres. It is located on Cleeve Common. It commands a clear view to the west, over Cheltenham and the racecourse, over the River Severn and into Wales, and to the north over Winchcombe. It is a conspicuous outcrop on the edge of the limestone escarpment, sometimes called the Cotswold Edge. It is crossed by the Cotswold Way footpath. With the hill's south slopes draining to the River Colne, Cleeve Hill is the highest point in the drainage basin of the River Thames. Close to the summit is the Neolithic longbarrow Bella's Knap. On its western scarp is an Iron Age hill fault. The hill bears one of the few rock faces in the area, Castle Rock, which is sound enough for rock climbing. The routes are short, difficult for their grade, and highly polished. The hill has been home to a golf course since 1891. The course was the location of the 2010 Wells Cup that took place in June 2010. So I've arrived at this little car park that literally looks like it's in the middle of a quarry. There's like these big sort of like cliff faces all around the car park, just above Cheltenham, and the views like overlooking the town and everything looked amazing, just as good as Cleeve Hill. So I'm just waiting for James and Mary to arrive. It was about a 20-minute drive from Cleeve Hill. So hopefully we can see what Hampton Hill's saying, and hopefully we can get away with something up here tonight instead. So it's pretty much dark now. I mean, it's 5 o'clock, you know, it's the winter, so we're going to be setting up in the dark. The lights down below will look amazing, hopefully. So hopefully in the morning the view will be amazing. If we can camp it, we'll see what happens. I mean, I hope so, because otherwise it's like a 2.5 hour drive home for me. That's not ideal, really. Like I've got to find somewhere to camp, otherwise it's a long journey home, really. Anyways, wish us luck. It's 6:20 and we have found a decent spot on the hill, quite secluded, just like kind of off of the main paths. There's like a really old path next to us that looks like it barely gets walked, and so we are going to sort of tuck ourselves away in here. It's out of the wind a bit more as well. I think James is going to be setting up here with the Zephyrus 1. Mary is going in this little groove here with the Corinthia army hooped bivvy, and then I am going to go here because there's this like flat spot. That's the remains of an old fire pit. That wasn't us. We'll sort of tidy up a bit more in the morning, and then look at that view. You can see what I wanted to pitch there. I wanted to try and get a decent photo hopefully in the morning. So anyways, we're going to get set up. It sort of felt like a little bit of rain in the air a couple of times. There's the Wild Country Helm one packed up at the moment. So yeah, I'm going to try and squeeze that in here. So here is my view from inside the tent. Not bad. We can see out over Cheltenham. There's a few fireworks going off at the moment. The wind has picked up a little bit, but it's nice in the tent. Probably on a little bit of a slope, but I've got enough booze with me. I'll sleep. It's probably nearer 7 o'clock now. I've set my tent up. I think James and Mary have got their shelters set up now. Wind's picked up a little bit, like on this like edge of the hill where we are. So I'm just sat inside the tent just to sort of keep some of the wind off. I'm gonna have my first drink of the night. This one was kindly bought for me by James and Mary. It's a 7 cider. Nice little picture on it there. It's a 330ml size bottle. 5.8%. Oh, it's a little bit stronger. Apparently it's sweet and sparkling. That's why they've picked it out for me. So it says this award-winning whole juice cider is a careful blend of traditional cider fruit selected from local orchards to give our cider roundness and depth of flavour. There are no added colourings, flavourings or water. The family have made cider for 3 generations and have a passion for preserving quality and tradition. The label is a specially commissioned woodcut by Steve Hislop, representing the home of Severn cider, with the landmark May Hill. That's pretty cool. I like that. It's a bottle with a story. So it's our first drink of New Year's Eve. Oh, it smells nice. It smells strong as well, but sweet. Right, cheers everyone to a good camp. Oh, it's got a kick to it. Oh, it's sweet, but there's like, it hits you like, whoa, I'm a 5.8%. Wow. He says it's sparkling, but it doesn't taste too like fizzy. It's nice for a strong cider. That's rather nice. I'm gonna give that a 7.4 out of 10. Nice. Thank you very much. Cheers. I like that. Oh, I need to get some food on the go though. I'm starving. Like, where we've been walking up and down hills and like umming and ahhing where to go, I've worked up a proper appetite now. So I think once we're all settled, I'm gonna get the stove on. I have another cider that I bought up here. This one was from someone at the gym that I work at. They got me like a hamper just full of stuff, like 4 different ciders, loads of different protein bars and protein powders and stuff. Really generous of them. They don't watch the videos, but thank you anyway. This one's a classic. I love this cider. They must have watched the video though. Maybe I told them, I don't know. So it's a Copperberg spiced apple cider, basically a mulled cider. Apple cider with cinnamon, 4%. Enjoy warm or chilled. I've tried it both and it's really nice either way, but I'm going to go with warmed. Definitely warm it through. And I've had this one a few times before on camps. It's probably my favourite Copperberg cider. I'm not a massive Copperberg cider fan, but this one is a winner, so we'll be having that later on. And then, excuse me, I've got even more drinks, but they're not cider related. In fact, they're not cider at all. Just little presents I got from people. I'll show you later anyway, but needless to say, I've got a shot glass with me. So we'll see in the new year in style. Anyways, right, enough thinking and let's get drinking. Whee! Hey! Happy New Year, everyone. We don't actually know what time it is, but all the fireworks are going off, so that's probably midnight. Wow. amazing. Wow. That is so cool. It's just a collective sound of like fireworks going off. That is amazing. Wow. To be fair, it's probably more than like fireworks night. Oh. Right, well, we've just watched the fireworks. I've just called my old Dot, wished her Happy New Year and stuff. She sounds a bit tipsy. They're at home sort of celebrating. So the New Year drink, the celebratory drink, is a little miniature. I've got 3 miniatures with me. I've done the normal Jack Daniels already. I've not had this one. Tennessee apple Jack Daniels. Thought it sounds quite good. It's probably just like apple juice, but just really strong. And I've got the honey Jack Daniels as well. Forgot to pick up any like mixers on the way here. I was going to bring buy a bottle of Coke and a bottle of lemonade. Like, I passed a petrol station and I needed a piss, and I was like, oh, I could stop. Then I was like, nah, carry on going, and I didn't. And I was like, but you need mixers, Tom. So I've been chucking these in like hot chocolates and stuff, and yeah. So I'm just gonna have this straight now. I've even got my shot glass with me as well. I think that was a client from the gym like years ago gave me that when they went to New Orleans, and I was like, okay. And I just never had a use for it. It's collected dust in it for the last few years, and I had to. It's probably about 7 or 8 years old, and I've never used it. And look, it had this dust in it that was like, if you ingested that, you'd probably die. So I had to clean it out first, and it's all right now. It was like that dust that's like super dust. That's like it's like got a soft kind of almost damp feel to it. I'll probably get Legionnaire's disease from it, but I washed it kind of, yeah. Yeah, I actually did, and with a wet cloth. You rumbled me, Mary. Yeah. Well, that smells really good. It just smells like appetizer, but like there's something lingering in the background. Like let's have a little sip first, just a little bit more, just in case I don't like it. I'm not doing a whole shot in one go. Cheers, everyone, to a prosperous 2022. Always an owl. Thank you for a brilliant 2021. Cheers. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's all right.
Here's the first of the day, fellas. To old D.H. Lawrence. Indians.
Oh, it's got a kick to it, but it's definitely some apple going on there. Oh, that'll put a spring in your step, which is what you don't want on the edge of a hill. You know, it's like whee, and just like jump off the edge of it. I think if I was going to shot any Jack Daniels, it would be this, as opposed to like normal Jack Daniels, because that tastes like paint stripper unless you mix it with something. But that's all right actually. I could probably even sip that, I reckon. I'm not a sipping whiskey person normally, but that's good. That beats a cider sometimes, that does. I like that. I'm going to give that 8 out of 10. Happy New Year, everyone. There'll be more to come. The night is still young. So there's me Helm 1. Not really showing you it much tonight. I mean, I had other things to show you instead, really. So got my little stool in there as well, so I can sit on that. And then James is just setting up inside the Wild Country Zephyrus one with the dog as well. So it's dog friendly. If you've got a dog and you're looking for a tent to go wild camping with your dog, And then Mary, she's asleep already, but she's just over there in the dark, just about to make out the, I'm just going to say it's the British Army Corinthia hoot bivvy. Yeah, that's the one anyway, so it's the really good one. So yeah, that's the shelters. I'm right on the edge there. Been worrying James all night. He's like, just be careful of the edge. Like, this is the edge here, look, that's darkness down there, and then like I've got to walk there. But I don't know, I just like sort of being able to open the door and look out across all the lights and stuff. Hopefully it'll look good in some photos and stuff in the morning. So yeah, all my stuff's set up in there now, so crawl in, get some hand warmers going and slip into something more comfortable. Hopefully not a coma. And yeah, I'll see you in there. That's me in the tent now. It's nice and cosy and warm in here. It's quite mild out anyway tonight. It's not cold, but I've still got all my winter stuff anyway. I can just sort of test it out and see what works, what doesn't work, what's overkill, what isn't really. That's probably more important. But it's a good spot though here. It's sheltered out of the worst of the wind, so that's good. And we've still got a view as well. I think we're going to aim to get up for around 7 AM, something like that. We don't want to be here all day, of course. I want to see the Devil's Chimney as well, which is like a kind of like a rock stack, like a massive like rock column, stone column, that's just sort of down the side of the Campton Hill. I remember it as a kid when we used to come up here and I used to visit my aunt and uncle, and I remember we'd come up here for walks and stuff, and that was the most fascinating bit for me. And there's people that I think like climbers have actually climbed up onto the top of the chimney as well, which is really dangerous. I think it was restored in like 1985 to like sort of shore up the sides and stuff against erosion and things like that. But it's been there for a lot of years, you know, it's old. So hopefully we can see that in the morning. Looking forward to it. And yeah, there's an Iron Age hill fort here as well, which is pretty cool. Didn't know that, so we'll try and have a look at that as well. But yeah, it's going to be nice to sort of see the place in the daylight and see the views around us. But yeah, it's been fantastic tonight. The lights down below just look amazing, and the fireworks were just something else. It's time to get some sleep. So enough yawning. I'll see you in the morning. Night all. Lookhampton Hill is in the Cotswold area of outstanding natural beauty and is one of a series of unimproved Jurassic limestone grassland areas which are located along the Cotswold Scarp and has a north-facing aspect. The site also includes disused quarry faces and quarry spoil which has been vegetated. Lookhampton is one of a number of hill forts constructed along the Cotswold escarpment between 500 and 100 BC. Others in the area include Painswick and Crickley Hill. The enclosure at Lookhampton is made up of a single bank and ditch cutting off a projecting headland. These sorts of hill faults are sometimes called promontory faults. Excavations in the 1920s and again in 1969 to 1970 revealed that the enclosure bank was originally 2 to 3 metres high, with a ditch 4 metres wide and 1.5 metres deep. A combination of wooden palisade and stone walls helped strengthen the bank. The excavation also showed that the wooden defences had been burnt, so much so that the heat had reddened the yellow limestone. It is not known what caused the fire, but it must have brought a dramatic end to the defensive value of the hill fort. The whole area has been shaped and altered by humans over thousands of years to suit their particular needs. It was a burial place and settlement site in prehistory, a sheep run in the medieval period, quarried for the natural resources in the 18th and 19th centuries, and in the middle of the 20th century was a site for the defence of Britain. The Devil's Chimney is a limestone rock formation that stands above a disused quarry in Leckhampton. It is named for its peculiar shape, that of a crooked and twisted chimney rising from the ground. The Devil's Chimney is a local landmark, but its origins are uncertain. In 1926 it survived an earthquake, but not without a few cracks. In 1985 it was repaired and protected from further erosion. Local legend holds that the Devil's Chimney is the chimney of the devil's dwelling deep beneath the ground. Supposedly the devil, provoked by the many Christian churches of the area, would sit atop Leckhampton Hill and hurl stones at Sunday churchgoers. However, the stones were thrown back at him, driving him beneath the ground and trapping him there so he could not further harass the villagers. That's not very Christian. Now he uses the mass of stones as his chimney to let free the smokes of hell. Visitors to the chimney would leave a coin on top of the rock as payment to the devil in exchange for his staying in his underground home and not leaving to create mischief and spread evil in the local area. The 19th century geologist S. Buckman suggested that the strange shape of the Devil's Chimney could be put down to differential erosion, involving the softer outer rock being worn away to leave only the inner harder rock remaining. However, this would require some explanation of why there was a column of harder rock there in the first place. The truth is probably that the Devil's Chimney was left behind by 18th century quarry workers who quarried around it as a joke. Alright everyone, it's about 10 AM now. We're back at the cars, as you can see. The rain's got heavier, so I'm sort of sheltering in the car like a puss boy. James is braving it in his nice rab coat. Mary's in the car, she's had enough of the cold, and the dog's in there as well. So that's the end of the video. I just thought James and Mary are going now, so I thought, well, I'll sign off while they're still here. It's been a fantastic New Year's Eve, another great wild camp at another unforgettable place, lots of memories made, and the fireworks were great, weren't they?
Fucking brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. So, if you've not already subscribed to James and Mary's channel, Bad Hair Adventures, please do so. I've got a bit of bad hair going on now, the rain. There we go, hence that's where the name come from apparently. James has always got bad hair apparently. Even when you got a nice haircut,
yeah.
you can't call it Bad Hair Adventures anymore because it's actually good hair anyway. Yeah, please do subscribe to them. They do some fantastic videos and content, walks, wild camps, historical stuff as well, which is always good. You don't see enough of that really on outdoor channels. So yeah, they love like castles and ruins and stuff. It's always good fun.
I'm getting soaked.
Sorry, right, anyway, you're getting a plug though here as well, so it's like anyways, yeah, right, James is getting soaked, so yeah, cheers everyone for watching. Hope you had a great new year. I'll see these two in the future at some point.
Absolutely.
Till next time, take care of yourselves, look after each other, stay safe, please be nice to one another in 2022. See you later. Bye.